I'm going to show you how to resize a file. So let's take a look at this quick little diagram I made for you. And the most important thing is what is highlighted here in the middle. This is the constrain proportions link. You always want that on. If it's not on, your image is going to look skewed. It's going to be longer, squatter. It's just going to look odd. So make sure that that link is always turned on and it ties your height and your width together. That is the key. If you're going to resize for inkjet printing, you want 240 ppi. For the lab, like MPix or anything online that you're sending out to, even Costco, 300 ppi. And then for Instagram, Facebook, that sort of thing, your media online, 72 ppi. So let's go and size an image. So let's resize the image. When we resize, we're going to go from our master file, the file with all of our layers. So we're going to want to do a save as from that file. So we're going to save as, and then we're going to flatten the layers. And then we're going to do the image sizing. So you're going to have your master file with all your layers at its original size, and then your second file will be your size for your output. So let's hop up here to image. That would be menu, and then image size. Now in here, you can see that my file is 180 resolution, 2624 for my long side. So we've got to change the resolution and the width. Right now, if you take a look, it's 14.8 megapixels is the image size. That's our right out of the camera size. So let's come down here and change this to 240, the resolution, 240 pixels per inch. And look what just happened. It went from 14.8 to 26.3, so I'm upsizing. And notice what happened to our pixels. They jumped up to 3499. So the width is our longest side, so we're going to change that to 2160 because that's what I asked you to turn it into me for class. And it went from now 14.8 down to 10 megapixels. So we downsized it. We took it down in size. That's all there is to this. Just remember, make sure that height and width are turned on, and we're just going to hit OK. Now our image is sized and ready to turn in. One more thing I want to point out, I'm just going to go back to image size. Right here, this resample. You know, a minute ago I kept telling you how important the height and width are. If I have resample checked off, now my height, width, and resolution are all tied together. So if I change this to 300, watch what happens to the height, width, and the image size. Well, my width just changed to 7.2 or 5.4 inches, and my image size stayed the same. So I was just manipulating the pixels within the square inch. That's what happens when you have resample checked off. You're not adding pixels and you're not taking away pixels. You're just repositioning pixels within the square inch. So let's come back to here and take that back to 240. We'll turn that back on. Now, if I were to do the same thing with it turned off, notice the resolution is not tied to the height and width anymore. I type in 300. I just made my file jump from 10 megs up to 15.6. So I'm adding pixels. So that's just another piece of the puzzle. A lot of times, most of the time, you want this checked on. Did you notice a minute ago we had things set to pixels and now things are set to inches? All we do is click on that little drop down and we have inches or pixels we can choose from. So sometimes it's easier to set things by inches, sometimes it's pixels. I keep asking you guys to set it by pixels to turn in, so it's important to know that you can pick either one. There's not one that's right or wrong. It's just what you're working in, inches or pixels. So keep that in mind. And at this point, you guys, let's just hit OK. We are resized. We're ready to go. So have fun, go resize. Remember, keep constrained proportions on.